Every year, 6 prominent environmentalists are awarded the Goldman Environmental Prize. This is the 21st year for the award, and among this year's winners is an environment attorney from Swaziland, Thuli Brilliance Makama. VOA's Rebecca Ward spoke with Makama in Washington.
Thuli Makama's concern for the environment extends to the people who depend on it for their traditional way of life. As director of Yonganawa Environmental Action Group, Makama says she has been personally touched by what she once thought would be just a job.
And once I was inside, I got to understand the issues and I took real interest. And I found space for combining the skills that I had then, which were the legal skills, and the work that was happening at Yonganawa. It's the steps that you see the people that you interact with go through. Initially, it's not so much confidence, and then when they get comfortable and they start taking you into their confidence, and then they're able to express their emotions, the sorrow, you know, the hardships that they've gone through, and then also at the end the hope, you know, that they then have and feel and display just from interacting with you.
Swaziland has earned a reputation as a destination for big game hunters and wildlife tourists, with a number of privately owned big game parks and reserves. Makama says there needs to be a balance between the needs of the community and economic benefits.
For certain sections of the community, the ones who are struggling with day-to-day survival, for them the environment is the source of life. And it's about making sure that we all appreciate that. And it is about trying to balance all the interests that are there in terms of using the environment so that no one interest takes priority over the other.
Makama believes local communities have a stake in their environment and that the two are not mutually exclusive.
I think where there are issues of overconsumption, overexploitation, it's because of lack of options, lack of alternatives. And I think in those situations, the best way, the best intervention you can make is to, one, raise awareness on how the overexploitation can be, you know, controlled, contained, and then at the same time, try and bring about alternatives.
Makama points to one example of such an alternative in Swaziland, where members of a poor community kept trying to get into the protected areas of public and private wildlife reserves.
The protected area management came together and they assisted the neighboring community to set up a community reserve, nature reserve. That's a flourishing ecotourism site now for the community. They have expanded from that nature reserve. They're now doing all sorts of other activities within the community. So it is possible for communities to use alternatives when they've been presented to them. We need to reclaim the concept.
Thuli Makama says she is delighted at winning the 2010 Goldman Prize, not necessarily for her own sake, but for what it can do to help bring Swaziland's environmental issues to the forefront. I'm VOA's Rebecca Ward in Washington.